This is Casey Bryant with Local Clarksville. Don't forget to download our app to find local places to eat, shop, and play. You're listening to The Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Joe Padula Show. Absolutely. Conspiracy Theory Thursday. In The Irishman on Netflix. The hit movie about the death of Jimmy Hoffa. It also covers how President JFK and his brother, Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, were going after Hoffa and his mob connections. So I want to find out, and let's look into who killed RFK in 1968 as the convicted shooter, who is still in prison, by the way, to this day, doesn't remember anything about that night and how 13 shots were fired, but his revolver, 22 cal, only holds 8 rounds. Who really killed RFK? This is in today's Conspiracy Theory Thursday. Yeah. All right, with the music. What's up, Angie? How are you?
I'm doing good, Joe. How are you?
Here, get right up on that mic. Yeah.
Right on it.
Yeah, make that microphone blush.
Oh.
Okay, all right. Don't make...
I'm doing good, Joe.
Okay, yes. Next caller. What is your love or relationship problem? Oh, we should do that, huh? One night.
Oh my goodness, that would be the bomb. You know, I love love.
Well,
I love love.
Well, today in our local focus of the show, we'll be going over some of the Clarksville gossip that's going on.
Oh, gossip. So much gossip.
I
know you all love gossip.
Angie's got it. She's got the gossip. She also got a hell of a YouTube channel, all right? We got to start pushing this and promoting it. I like it a lot.
You love it, Joe?
I do.
You do?
You got a personality.
Oh, well, thank you.
I also got some things you need to change, though.
Are you going to tell me on the air?
On the air,
I wanna hear
live.
Right now.
No, later on.
Okay.
This is called the tease.
Ooh, you tease me.
Oh, that poor microphone. Poor Pops. Look at Pops over there in the corner.
Oh, he's got rosy cheeks. He's a cutie.
No, he's blushing. What's going on, Petro? How are you? All right?
I'm doing great.
In a little bit, we're going to find out if the 2020 part of the year in Clarksville is going to be held by the Clarksville Tribe with the Masquerade Ball.
You gossip about that.
Oh, I love the masquerade ball.
Right. And I got some ideas to make it even better.
I can't wait.
Oh, yeah. It's all a little bit, right, Bang? It's called the tease. How you doing? All right, so let's get into this one. And hey, you listening and following along, write in your comments, okay? Don't forget to share it on your timeline. We need the help in spreading the outreach, okay? So appreciate you guys out there. Oh, and girls. Someone called me out on that. I'm not a guy, Joe. It's where I come from, that's not a sexual thing, okay? Hey, you guys. Right, the Goonies, remember? All right, so RFK. June 5th, 1968. Then presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy was mortally wounded shortly after midnight at the Ambassador Hotel in Los Angeles. It was all caught on camera, too. Right. Earlier that evening, the 42-year-old junior senator from New York, who was running for the Democratic nomination for president in the United States, was declared the winner in South Dakota primary and also the massive California presidential primary. He was on his way to becoming the nominee for the general election of 1968. But he was pronounced dead at 1:44 a.m. on June 6th, about 26 hours after he'd been shot. So the shooter was a Palestinian immigrant, okay? 24-year-old Saran. I'm not repeating myself. That's just his name. Saran, first name, last name, Saran. Smart parenting.
It's good.
Now, in 1969, Saran confessed to the shooting, but in each of his testimonies said that he had no memory of anything of what happened that day or night. Well, he was then convicted of murdering the senator and was eventually given a life sentence. Here's the thing. The audio evidence shows that 13 shots were fired. Saran's 22 caliber revolver only holds 8 rounds. So, who shot the remaining 5? Okay? Yeah, 8 plus 13. Just making sure.
Using his fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 13. Okay. But and here's the thing too. Positioning-wise, Sirhan was facing Kennedy at the time. The fatal shot, according to the doctors, the autopsy, came from behind the ear, as Pops was just pointing to, the left ear. So Sirhan still remains incarcerated for the crime. Robert Kennedy's son, Robert Kennedy Jr., is now asking questions after he's done his own research. Let's take a quick look at this 1.5-minute video, okay? And again, if you want to look on too, just watch the Joe Padula Show on Facebook. Click like, scroll down, you see the live video feed. And again, share it on your timeline. Here we go. Well, not here we go yet. Just give me a second, okay? One-man show. Great. Can't wait for an intern that doesn't quit after a week.
I'm gonna share my stuff online right now.
Well, also share the show too, okay?
That's what I was gonna do.
We see what shirt you're wearing today.
I already shared it, Joe.
Oh my God! Thank you.
When I first got here.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
on time.
On time. Right.
Yeah.
Right,
Nice
Angie.
job, Petra.
Thank you.
Your poor back. All right, here we go.
Now it's on to Chicago, and let's win there. Thank you, guys.
Robert Kennedy.
Let me tell you something. Okay, just before we get into this, a little history background. Okay.
Okay.
The 1968. Okay, Richard Nixon was running as a Republican. All right. He ended up running against, who was it, Pops? George McClellan, right? And it was a landslide. Had Nixon ran against, what was it, McClellan, or was it? McGovern, yes. And it was pretty much a landslide victory. If he was going up against Robert F. Kennedy in the overall election, who knows? Who knows?
I got some gossip on Nixon.
Ooh.
He was in Los Angeles on the night of June 5th, 1968, celebrating his victory in California's presidential primary. As Kennedy was
He was shot, okay, at that Ambassador Hotel. He was shot. He was leaving. He was shot in the kitchen area. All right.
Okay.
leaving, he was shot 3 times. He died a day later. 5 others were hit but survived. Police arrested 24-year-old Sirhan Sirhan. He admitted to killing RFK, but said he had no memory of the event. Sirhan was standing in front of Kennedy at the time of the shooting, but an autopsy report found Kennedy was shot at point-blank range from behind. Over the years, new evidence reportedly shows as many as 13 shots were fired that night, but Sirhan's gun held only 8 bullets. That's one reason why many now question Sirhan's guilt, including Robert Kennedy Jr. He tells the Washington Post, "There were too many bullets. You can't fire 13 shots out of an 8-shot gun." Paul Schrade was also shot that night and has doubts.
It would be easy for somebody to slip up behind Bob and shoot him. But Sirhan was not in position to shoot Robert Kennedy after his first 2 shots. He missed Kennedy, shot me.
RFK Jr. and Schrade are calling for a new investigation, something historian Doug Weed supports.
As someone who writes history books, you cannot trust history.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't blame Robert Kennedy at all for pursuing this.
Kennedy tells the Post he spent 3 hours visiting Sirhan in prison late last year after researching his father's assassination for months. "I got to a place where I had to see Sirhan. I went there because I was curious and disturbed by what I had seen in the evidence." Kennedy did not reveal what they talked about, but he came away convinced Sirhan did not kill his father.
Unreal. Unreal. Now, the location of Kennedy's wounds, as we were talking about just a moment ago, suggested that whoever the assailant, okay, stood behind him, but witnesses said that Sirhan was facing west, about a yard away from Kennedy as he moved through the pantry facing east, so in front of him. Okay, now, possibility supported by the chief medical examiner, coroner for the county of Los Angeles, Thomas Noguchi. Okay, a name you can't trust, Noguchi.
Oh, never.
Right.
Never.
Who stated that the fatal shot, though, was behind Kennedy's ear and had been fired a distance of approximately 1 inch away.
That means they would have gotten it on camera.
So, well, this part wasn't on camera, just the audio was running. How convenient.
Oh, there was
Okay.
a lot of people in on
Because there's no cameras in L.A.
Right. Now, an eyewitness reporter there, John Pilger, okay, he said that there must have been a second gunman. And on November 26, 2011, Sirhan's defense attorneys, okay, they wrote a brief in a federal court asserting that a bullet used as evidence to convict Sirhan in court was switched with another bullet at the crime scene. They're also saying that Sirhan... Okay, all right. Well, here's one of the conspiracies. Okay?
Tell me.
Was Sirhan, was Sirhan a Manchurian candidate? Do you guys know what that is?
Yeah, a sleeper cell.
Okay. Here it is, a psychologically programmed by persons unknown to commit the murder.
And then you get a phone call. Pick up the phone, they say something.
Right? Remember, he said he still, to this day, he's not aware of his actions. Okay, so this is one of the conspiracies going around. That at the time his mind was quote-unquote wiped in the aftermath by the conspirators who have, because there would be no memory of the event. So, boom, he was programmed, allegedly. Such as, who has done stuff like this or experimented with this? CIA.
Mm-hmm. Especially back in the 60s.
CIA.
I was going to say Men in Black, but...
When the war... MIB. Right.
More credible.
Yeah. And at this time, 1968, Pops, you remember, right? When the war in Vietnam was really kicking off? The big surges? And what was RFK's policy? End the war. What was the war made to do? Make money. Mm-hmm. Follow the money. Man, who would they want? What would the CIA want as a candidate? Would they want someone who's anti-war policy? Or a war hawk like Richard Milhouse Nixon? Also, Sirhan claimed that he continued to claim to have no memory still to this day. Yeah, so his lawyers even accused, Sirhan's lawyers even accused the CIA in 2010 of hypnotizing him and making him an involuntary participant.
2010, 2011, this thing's been appealed 1,000 times?
Yeah.
Wow.
And there were supposed to be documents released. Still nothing to this day, right? Because, what is it, the 25-year clause, right?
Yeah.
Well, this is almost 50 years ago now.
But whether or not he did it, which he did, there had to be a second shooter.
There had to have been, right, because of the counts. And we'll go into that because with the audio forensics of today, you could do it on a freaking GarageBand and see the spikes in the shots,
Right.
It's a high-pitch sound. Another question, where was RFK's bodyguard? Okay, this guy is a former Attorney General of the United States, then Senator of New York, running for president. Where was the bodyguard? The guy's name, Thane Eugene Caesar. Another Italian. It's another Italian.
Probably Sicilian.
Yeah. Caesar had been employed by Ace Bodyguard Service to protect Kennedy at the hotel. All right? But this was not his full-time job. During the day, he worked as a maintenance plumber at the Lockheed Aircraft plant in Burbank. A plumber. And that job, because it was Lockheed, required security clearance from the Department of Defense. He worked there from 1966 until losing his job in 71. Now, here's the thing. Caesar began working, at the job he held for a couple years there. It said that with all these requirements, that's how he got to position. And back then, who were the plumbers with? The unions. Okay? Who were connected to the unions during the 60s? The mob. Who went after the unions and the mob? RFK. Right. Now, when interviewed, Caesar stated that he did draw a gun at the scene while he was being a bodyguard. But instead, the weapon, that was a ROM 38 caliber. Not a 22 caliber with the bullets that came from Sirhan. And guess what? The lawyers said that the other bullets that were switched was a ROM 38.
This is deep.
I'm telling you, I stepped into something and it stinks.
So the ballistics. So they found bullets from where?
Yeah, bullets from the doors in the kitchen, the pantries in the kitchen, and also pulled from the other guys that were shot.
Okay.
Right. So, nonetheless, he also said that he got knocked down after the first shot was fired by Sirhan, quote unquote, and was unable to fire his gun at all. So there's another conspiracy theory on the death of RFK.
This is like a whole book.
Right.
Wait until you hear this one.
Tell me.
This is the lady.
Some of the witnesses, Pops knows exactly what I'm talking about a woman in a polka dot dress. She was in various locations throughout the Ambassador Hotel before and after the assassination, according to multiple eyewitnesses. One witness, Kennedy's campaign worker, Sandra Serrano. Another Italian. Well, no, so Serrano could be Hispanic too.
No, that's Italian. That's Italian.
I'm trying to help us out. Okay, I'm trying to help us out here.
Italian.
It's okay, we know.
We know. So Sandra Serrano, reported that around 11:30 p.m. that this polka-dotted woman, the dress woman anyway, was sitting outside on a stairway that led to the embassy ballroom. That's where he gave the speech that we saw in the video, right. And when a woman and two men, one of whom was Sirhan, so Sirhan was with this polka dot dress person, according to Serrano, walked past her up the stairs. Now, Serrano said around 30 minutes later, so around midnight now, she heard noises that sounded like backfire. That's the time of the shooting. Now, of the backfire of an automobile, in case you're not tracking. Then, after she heard those noises, she then saw that polka-dotted dress woman and one of the men that she was with earlier running from the scene. She stated this. She heard the woman exclaiming that, quote, "We shot him, we shot him." Serrano then asked that polka dot dressed woman, because she was scared, she goes, "Whom are you referring to?" That polka dot woman said to her, "Senator Kennedy." Who would be admitting to saying, "I shot Senator Kennedy," right there and Now, another report, said that they saw a girl in a polka dot dress with Sirhan at various times during the evening, including in the kitchen area where the assassination eventually took place. Why the hell was a polka dot dress girl in the kitchen and Sirhan in the kitchen before all this is going on? So Sirhan didn't work there. He was a Palestinian immigrant. Or a patsy. There was an older couple that was also staying at the hotel, and they said that they saw a couple in their early 20s, one who was wearing a polka dot dress. And yes, at that same time when Sandra was saying that she was talking to the polka dot woman, that older couple said that they overheard, quote, "We shot him, we killed Kennedy, we shot him, we killed him." What the hell is going on? Who shot RFK fatally?
It seems like, I mean, if the CIA is going to do something like that, they're not going to leave much to chance. And I'm sure you've seen the documentary of the admitted assassinations that they've done, the poison ball and the umbrella, things like that over the years. But you would think that they would have the patsy. There's someone that they would pin the whole thing on, and they would attempt to do it, but they can't leave all that to chance, especially if it's a Manchurian candidate. So they'd have to have somebody there that could guarantee the job got done. So amidst the chaos, they make the fatal shot back of the head, but they don't, there's no attention drawn to them because you got the wild guy with the gun.
Pops, what are you thinking? What's going through that beautiful mind of yours? Who did it?
Robert F. Kennedy?
Yeah.
I always thought it was the unions.
Okay. Hence the plumber theory.
Well, yeah, but...
The plumber security guy.
If history repeats anything, anybody who wants to kill somebody like that will kill them no matter what. If they get caught, if they get away.
Man.
But this was pretty, just like JFK, to do this job on one shooter.
13 rounds heard.
Yeah, but that's not quite a plan, is it?
No.
Too much can go wrong, can it? So if they want a guy gone.
Angie, your thoughts?
This is deep.
I know.
I'm still trying to wrap my head around
Throw
it.
something wild out there, like he shot himself. Go
Yeah,
for it. Yeah,
man.
there we go.
Well, obviously it was the plumber.
Wait,
Wait
did
a minute.
RFK shoot himself?
There it is. We're unwrapping it now.
Come on in, Lawyer Wayne. Come on in. I hear you. And here's the thing, too. You don't hear much about conspiracies on RFK's assassination. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Here's what happened. Saran did it.
Yeah, that was it.
Bay.
What's that?
Okay. Out of the 3 scenarios, what do you think? Do you have a whole different conspiracy?
It's the same people that killed his brother.
Well, here's the thing. His brother, John F. Kennedy. What's up, Lawyer Wayne? How are you?
Hello, everybody.
We're going over,
I heard. RFK.
It's crazy, isn't
Conspiracy.
it? I know.
Hillary did it.
There it is.
Did you say Hillary Clinton did it? Okay, John F. Kennedy.
Okay.
Well, Oswald killed John F. Kennedy, duh.
That's what they say.
The book depository, 6th floor. Come on, duh.
That's what they say.
With the pristine bullet.
Right, yeah. Come on, what a shooter. That communist.
The angles don't match.
I hear you. Well, as it's pretty well known, okay, the Italians, the mob, I shouldn't say the Italians, okay, the mob and the unions, they backed Kennedy and helped get him elected. Why? To invade Cuba so they can build casinos. Okay, and who runs casinos? Mobs. Where does mob get the money from? Union pension funds. Okay, that's where it all comes together, okay?
All right.
Okay? Bay of Pigs. The Bay of Pigs invasion. Boom. You get the Cuban nationalists. The frontliners, if you will. Trained and equipped with U.S. government provided weapons.
Yep.
You guys go in, we'll provide air support. John F. Kennedy goes, I don't like it. I don't like it. We're not going to do it. Boom. It fails. A couple years later, he's killed. Okay? Yeah. Here's what I think.
Okay.
I think I figured it out.
Here we go.
It's all 3 of them. It is the CIA. It is the Manchurian Candidate. Okay? It is Saran. It is the bodyguard.
They're all working
The
together.
plumber. The union. The union is the mob connection. The CIA is the mob connection. The CIA and the mob working together with the unions.
Right.
To get rid of Robert F. Kennedy, who I believe would have beat Richard Milhouse Nixon, just as his brother did.
Yeah.
And in the election of 1960. Why? Because of Vietnam.
Yep.
That's what it comes down to.
The woman in the polka dot dress. Who would ever think a woman wearing a polka dot dress would be a CIA agent? It's brilliant.
The Russians?
It's brilliant.
The Russian and Japanese.
Yeah, they're like polka dots.
No, they the first one who used females as assassins. Because you never think like that back then.
All because of Vietnam, and you got to follow the money. The big war machine is a big money machine.
The thing that doesn't add up to me though is it's almost like a prison stabbing though. You know, if you're thinking CIA, you know, you take the knife, you hit him, you drop it.
Yep.
You don't sit there and yell, "We shot him, we did it, we killed him, we shot him."
So is that the hey, this is us drawing attention to something else?
But
the Kansas City Shuffle. We're creating a distraction over here,
right?
To be like, oh, so it wasn't the CIA, it wasn't
the Houdini. But I'm saying, if the patsy was already in place, what would she have to gain by saying that?
Well, you know,
because
women,
nobody's gonna.
Here's
No
the
one's
thing:
gonna suspect
women
it.
can never keep their mouths shut. Okay, you know what I mean?
When we kill, we keep our mouth shut.
No, that obviously not the polka dotted dress woman. Oh my God, we killed them.
We did it. We did it.
Oh, did you see it? It was such a good shot. Right. Thank God there wasn't like Facebook. They would have went right there. Oh my God, guess what I did that you didn't?
Instant hashtag.
Yeah, hashtag.
Did you get that on Facebook Live?
Yeah. Pops?
Well, there was a bigger.
Here, into that mic, Pops. It's okay.
There was a bigger distraction in the nation at the time.
Okay.
2 months earlier to almost the day MLK was
Martin
assassinated.
Luther King.
So everybody's paying attention to that. This happens. It's Bobby.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's in L.A., but
Right.
they're still focusing on MLK.
Well, I'll tell you what. Tune in next Thursday for Thursday's Conspiracy Theory Thursday. Who really killed Martin Luther King Jr.?
The FBI.
Hey, don't. Spoiler alert.
Is this online?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll be on
watch
Facebook Live next Thursday with that
I'll
one.
watch it.
Pops, you'll be getting your shout-outs. Lawyer Wayne,
All right.
anything?
No. I think Hillary did it.
Hillary?
It all comes back to the Clintons.
It is.
Was she born?
Yes. She was a Republican at the time, actually.
54, 56, right?
She was.
Should've been,
She
what,
just
10?
got. She just got done campaigning for Barry Goldwater right after this. It's true. It's true. All right. Coming up next, walking and texting. The new National Emergency Room data is out, and the injuries sustained from cell phone use is through the roof. So, if it is illegal to text and drive, should it now be illegal to text and walk?
No.
Bay, I have arguments for both sides, and I want to hear your guys' opinions.
It's like talking and walking.
Man.
We're really fast tracking the big issues in this country, aren't we?
Oh, my God. Woo. BRB. It's next on the Joe Padula Show. Absolutely.
Hello, Clarksville. Lawyer Wayne here. Check me out at lawyerwayne.com and check out the Joe Padula Show Monday through Friday for entertainment and information. Download the app. Absolutely.
You know what it